What's going on, everybody? This is Brian from SneakerFiles.com, recapping the news. And before I jump into things, like always, greatly appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. We're on the road to 180,000 subscribers. Would love to hit that before 2026. So all the likes are greatly appreciated. Helps the video get seen by new people. As well, for all of you who've been subscribed since the beginning or even just subscribed now, I greatly appreciate you. But as for some of the highlights in this video, we have a first look at the A Ma Maniere Air Jordan 4 and Dark Mocha. As well, we have new photos of the Solefly Air Jordan 3, but the individual who put the images out told on themselves. Yes, there was a whole train heist and everything. I'm going to go into more detail about that later on. As well, I'm hearing that the Travis Scott Fragment Air Jordan 1 Low OG release is being backdoored, and I mean by a lot. I got in a little bit of information. I'm not going to go too in detail about it, but enough to give you guys an idea of what's going on. Now, there is more from Jordan Brand in this video, but we have a ton of stuff from Nike, including the return of the Nike Air Zoom Flight, the glove in black and white. And now, let's jump into the news. I've seen a few comments with people interested in the Nike Baltoro High. As you guys know, there is 3 colorways that are releasing. In fact, a lot of boutiques have already dropped these, which took place on November 1st. However, there is another option to purchase, which will be on the Sneakers app. Now, before I give you the release date, just to go over the 3 colorways, the first is known as Bright Spruce, and it features Bright Spruce, Fruit Punch, Celestial Gold, and Kumquat. Easily my favorite from the 3. And then we have the Baroque Brown, Midnight Navy, Black, and Midnight Green colorway. Lastly, we have a pair in black, metallic gold, and white. So all 3 pairs are dropping on the Sneakers app on November 13th. The retail price will be $145 each. We now have a release date for the Nike Kobe 3 Protro Christmas. Now, months back, I believe it was over the summer, Nike did a pre-order of this shoe. Now, I haven't seen anybody receive this pair in hand from the pre-orders, so I'm not sure if they're going to send them out on the release date or a bit earlier. Either way, this pair will drop on December 24th, just a day before Christmas, and the retail price is $210. That seems a bit high for a Kobe 3. Yes, I understand that they have updated some of the tech used, but yeah, December 24th is the release date. In 2026, we're going to see a lot of Nike Cyroshot releases. And basically, what Nike is doing is they're taking a soccer cleat, the upper of it, and replacing it with the Cyroshot sole. In this video, I believe I have 3 to go over, and the first one is the Nike Cyroshot Mercurial Vapor R9 in Varsity Royal. So this pair takes the upper from the Mercurial boots that Ronaldo wore during the 1998 World Cup. So essentially, we have the upper of that shoe and the Cyroshot sole. Now, this image we seen some time back. We knew it was coming, but now there's 100% confirmation that they're going to be released. So for this pair, the official colorway is Varsity Royal, Varsity Maize, and Metallic Silver, and they're going to drop summer 2026, meaning they're going to be released sometime between April and June. Also, the retail price will be $210. Alright, the next pair is a collaboration with Patta, and it'll be on the Nike Cyroshot Mercurial. This also looks like a variation of the R9, but it has a flap over the tongue that also features Patta branding. Patta also lands on the tongue as well. Unfortunately, we only have the one image, but the pair will feature a metallic silver, hyper crimson, and black colorway. The sole does have translucent areas. You can kind of see from the photo. Now, as for the release date on this one, we don't have one, but they're also going to drop summer 2026, which means a release will take place between April and June. Also, the retail price will be $210. Now, the last pair will be a collaboration with Off-White on the Nike Cyroshot. The nickname for this is Virgil Abloh Archives, but I honestly believe that this pair will be in collaboration with Virgil Abloh Archives instead of using Off-White. Now, the pair will drop summer 2026, but it was first shown off at the Virgil Abloh The Codes exhibition in Paris last September. So I believe on this pair, it uses the upper of the Tiempo, and it features a white University Red and black colorway. So the pair features an all-white upper. We have Air in black in quotation. Red also accents the branding, lands on the zip tie, and then it comes with the Cyroshot sole. From the 3 so far, I kind of think this might be my number 1. I just think it's super, super clean. The R9 is really nice as well. I like the colorway on those, but for this pair, we don't have a specific release date, but they're going to drop summer 2026, and the retail price will be $210. Now, there's a lot more collaborations using the Cyroshot sole. I have a list of them, and you'll see them start to drip out either over the weekend and next week. And of course, I'll talk about it in the news video. There's also a Jordan collab coming, so that's going to be interesting. I think I said this on Twitter, but Nike has quite a few World Cup releases, and on the Nike SB side of things, we have at least 2 SB Air Max 95s dropping, part of the World Cup pack. Now, there is more models dropping for the World Cup, but those will be announced soon. Now, we do have mock-ups here, and it's simply that, a mock-up. I haven't seen them. I'm not sure how they're going to look, but one pair will come dressed in cell, black, and laser orange, while the second features hyper pink, black, and light lemon twist. Now, I do know a lot of the World Cup stuff, there will be matching apparel. I do believe Nike SB will have matching apparel, although I don't have confirmation on it. I just heard from a few people that they will have matching apparel available. Also for the Cyroshot, going back to those, yes, all the collabs, they have matching apparel, and they're going to represent different teams or different parts of the world. So I thought that was pretty cool. Like Patta will be for the Netherlands. There's also a pair to represent South Korea, France, England, the USA, Nigeria, and Canada. I believe there's a few more, but that's what I have in front of me. But yeah, expect Nike SB to do something similar. Now, as for the release date, for these two, unfortunately, we don't have that, but fall 2026 is when they're expected to drop, which means the release will take place between July and September. Also, the retail price will be $190 each. Now, what's odd is there's 2 pairs of sneakers that I leaked months back that I thought were going to get scrapped, and we have a first look at both of those in this video. So the first pair is the Nike Kobe 9 Elite Low Protro Perspective. So what this is a low top version of the 2014 release, initially known as the Nike Kobe 9 Elite High Perspective. Obviously, this is a Protro version. It's also an Elite Low. Personally, I think this is a smart move. I know there are people who like the high, but I feel like it's more for hoopers. Again, both pairs can be for hoopers, but I feel like the look is cleaner as a low. Of course, that's just my opinion. Everyone's entitled to their own. So personally, I think that might be why Nike went this route. Now, from the photos, again, they do look on point. Obviously, it doesn't have the extended collar. But other than that, we do have a release date change. So I do believe they were supposed to drop in November, but the new release date is December 3rd. Also, the retail price is $220. All right, moving back to the Nike SB side of things, we got a couple release dates, well, potential release dates, and the first pair is the Nike SB Dunk Low Krampus. Now, we've seen this pair some time back, but the good news is that we have a potential release date. Now, I say potential because they haven't popped up on the sneakers app, nor have I seen any skate shops talk about a release date, and unfortunately, with this release date, it isn't known if it's going to be for skate shops or the sneakers app, because as you know, skate shops drop the shoes first and then they're available on the sneakers app after. But this pair is inspired by the mythical folklore Krampus, who instead of Santa Claus, who gives kids gifts, Krampus actually punishes naughty kids. So what I said sometime back, and I still haven't received confirmation on it, or at least I haven't seen it, it does look like the upper will crack or wear away. I'm really curious if that is the case, what kind of design is underneath. Hopefully it's something good. Also, the insoles on these are really dope. It features demonic-like figures, but for now, they're expected to drop on November 29th, and the retail price will be $125. Same situation with the Krampus pair. We have a release date for the Nardwuar Nike SB Dunk Low. Again, this release date, it hasn't been confirmed if it's for the sneakers app or at skate shops. Again, they'll drop at skate shops first and then on the sneakers app. But the release date is expected for December 6th. I'm sure most people who are listening know who Nardwuar is. He has a YouTube channel. He does interviews. What I like is that he shocks the interviewee by asking them questions that the interviewee thinks that other people don't know. This pair also appears to be a quick strike. which means that they're going to be somewhat on the limited side, not as many pairs produced as an inline pair. They're going to drop at skate shops and expected to be released on the Sneakers app. It's also possible they drop on Nardwuar's website, but that part I don't have confirmation on. But dropping on December 6th, the retail price is $140. Now, as some of you may know, the Nike Air Zoom Huarache 2K4 is returning next year. We have a small handful of colorways, including the All-Star pair returning, but we also have 2 PEs dropping. At least 2, there could be more. And the first one is the Air Zoom Huarache 2K4 Sue Bird PE. So this pair never released to the public, but she wore this pair back in 2004 to help the Seattle Storm win the WNBA championship. Also, there's a statue of her outside a Climate Pledge arena, and she's wearing the shoe. Yes, it's all bronzed out, but it's definitely the Huarache 2K4. So the pair comes dressed in white, deep forest, and canyon gold. Now, what I can't confirm, because I haven't seen them, is if they'll feature birdie embroidered on the ankle. It should, since it's labeled a PE, but I don't want to confirm it unless I actually see it. But for this pair, we don't have a specific release date, but they're going to drop fall 2026, and the retail price is $210. The second pair is an interesting one, and this is the Nike Air Zoom Huarache 2K4 Penny Hardaway Knicks PE. Now again, this pair did not release to the public, but it will be released to the public for the first time in fall 2026. Now, Penny Hardaway isn't known for his playing days with the Knicks. Yes, I'm sure some people do remember him there, especially Knicks fans. I know you guys are very diehard fans, but he wore this pair during the 2003-04 season. Now, the pair comes dressed in black, Varsity Royal, and safety orange. Now, it isn't known if his 1 cent logo will be placed on the heel. On the original PE, it was used. Again, I do believe this pair will feature it since it's labeled a PE. I just don't want to confirm it again because I haven't seen them. I do like this pair. I totally forgot that Penny Hardaway had a pair of Huarache 2K4s. Kobe Bryant was like the face of this shoe. And sometimes you tend to forget who else had a pair. I was doing some research on this pair, and oddly enough, there was an article written about them in 2014, I believe, maybe 2012, somewhere around that time on Sneaker Files, because his pair popped up on eBay. But these are definitely clean in my opinion. They're going to be released in fall, so dropping sometime between July and September, and the retail price will be $210. For a while, we saw a bunch of KD4 releases, and sometime back we learned that Nike Basketball is finally moving away from the KD4 and retroing a new model, the KD6. Now, I'm a huge fan of the KD4. I feel that's his best signature shoe as far as looks go, but the KD6 isn't bad. I like it a lot more than the KD5, but I will say the KD6 is a bit uncomfortable to me. Either way, one of the pairs now returning is known as Meteorology. So this is an original colorway that was first dropped in 2013. Kevin Durant wanted to be a meteorologist as a kid, and because of that we saw several releases throughout his signature line inspired by that. The first, I do believe, is the KD4 Weatherman, but for this pair it takes a different route. As far as colors used, it features black, atomic red, medium olive, and noble red. So you can see the unique wavy designs on the upper. That's supposed to mimic the designs you see on a Doppler radar. What I do like is the red hits on the branding and the subtle speckled detailing on the midsole. Now for this pair, we don't have a specific release date, but they're expected to drop fall 2026, and the retail price will be $140. Out of all the sneakers in this video, this is the one I'm most excited for. Definitely my top pair in this video, and that is the return of the Nike Air Zoom Flight the Glove in black and white. So as most of you know, this is an OG colorway that dropped back in 1998 and worn by Gary Payton. Now, several months back, somebody sent me a link to a podcast that Gary Payton was on. I forgot the name of the podcast. I tried to look for it so I can clip it and add it in this video, but he said that his shoe would be returning next year, so meaning 2026. I believe I mentioned it in a previous video, although for a lot of people that is considered confirmation. I didn't officially like announce it, make an article and so forth because for one, I didn't know the colorway, and two, I like to make sure we have a style code and so forth, or at least my sources say, hey, these are coming, because sometimes stuff gets delayed and it's out of Gary Payton's hands, and they still could get delayed even with this announcement, but it's looking good. Don't worry about that. I wouldn't for now. I'm just talking about the possibilities. Now, this pair hasn't re-released a lot. The initial drop took place in 98, but they last dropped in 2013. There was quite a few colorways that were released around that time. There's also the white and black pair. I know for sure I own that pair. I do believe I own this one, but I'm not 100% for sure. Either way, I'm buying this pair. I remember when I was in elementary school and junior high, I liked Gary Payton's signature line just because, for one, it featured like unique enclosures. For this pair, it has the zipper shroud. But my ultimate favorite Gary Payton signature shoe is the Nike Air Zoom GP. That pair had like a ratchet enclosure that kind of folded over like a burrito. That pair, super nice. That's also the pair that I got jumped for in 6th grade. So when they returned back, I want to say 2019, I definitely picked up, I believe, every colorway except for one. I was getting them below retail on StockX, which I wish I doubled up on a few of those. But the one pair I always wanted to see return is the blue pair. Man, if those returned, I definitely would triple up on those. That's the actual pair I got jumped for. But yes, this pair is a double up for me. Overall, I'm happy that Nike is releasing more of these classic 90s silhouettes. Now, just if we can get Tim Duncan's pair to return, then I'm sure a lot of people will be happy. But as for the release date, they're expected to drop fall 2026, which means the release will take place between July and September, and currently no retail price, but more coming soon. And let me know your thoughts on this pair returning down below. Alright, so we have new photos of the Air Jordan 1 High OG Elephant, but more importantly, we have a release date. Now, the pair is known as Elephant due to the elephant print used on the swoosh, but some of the other standout features on this pair includes a reptile-like texture on the ankle. It also features an embroidered Jumpman on the toe, and it also features a milky translucent rubber outsole with flight branding. Now, this pair is currently scheduled to drop on December 1st. And the retail price will be $185. Now, I'm not taking away from the shoes. If you like them, that's dope. But I will say this is a pair that I expect to sit and go on sale. A lot of places will have them, and I don't see too many people talking about them. Okay, so for a pair that won't go on sale is the Air Jordan 10 Shadow. And just the other day, official images popped up giving us our best look yet. Now, I've been trying to track down as many retailers that will have them, at least chain stores, because a lot of boutiques will have them, but boutiques traditionally launch their shoes in store, especially for limited drops. Yes, in some cases they do drop online. But as for spots that will have them, this includes sneakers, DTLR, chic shoes, and snipes. So for sneakers, chic, and snipes, they do have landing pages for those. So if you want to check those out, head over to SneakerFiles.com. There will be links to all of those pages. You can bookmark them. Now, DTLR, it is showing on their release calendar, but they don't have a product page available just yet. Now, DTLR has also done some weird stuff in the past, especially with the still Air Jordan 10. Apparently they were supposed to release them, then they never got sizes, and then only in stores. Some places got grade school sizes. I don't know, it just seemed kind of shady to me, the whole situation. But yeah, this pair is looking to be somewhat on the limited side. They're only dropping in adult sizing, no kid sizing, so that means that the production run is a lot smaller. So in my opinion, these will somewhat be on the harder side to obtain. Now, as for the release date, they're scheduled to drop on November 19th, and the retail price will be $215. As for the second pair that I thought potentially could be scrapped in this video is the Air Jordan 3 Champagne and Oysters. Now, I did recently talk about them, and when I did, we didn't have a first look. I thought they might have been scrapped, but looking through the back end of stuff, on Nike, there is information about the release. As well, they were on Finish Line's release calendar. but we do have a first look at them. Only one image, and as you can see, it's on point to the mock-up that Z and I put out months and months back. Now, this will be a women's release, and the pair features a Cell, Team Gold, Pale Ivory, Metallic Gold, and Ice colorway. Now, replacing the elephant print, we do have suede around the toe and heel. You know, when Jordan Brand did this in the past, I used to hate it. I felt like it needed elephant print, but the suede has grown on me. I don't like leather. Just plain leather, it just looks off. But the suede, it's not a bad replacement. Now, as for the upper, it will feature leather covered in mostly Cell. It does have gold accents. It kind of gives it a premium look. I do like the gold accents. And then completing the look is a translucent outsole. So this pair is scheduled to drop on November 22nd, and the retail price will be $205. Alright, so we have the first release date for the Travis Scott Fragment Air Jordan 1 Low OG in military blue. Now, by the time this video goes live, the release would have already happened. Now, there is a reason I'm talking about this, and it's because this pair is being super backdoored. Does that come as a surprise to many? No, but I did hear something. But before I move on to that, the first release date is November 7th, so that would be today. Now, they're being released at a special event in Japan known as Hijacked, a Tokyo Bay takeover. Now, there's expected to be a wider launch that could take place between November 8th and the 12th, which is during Travis's Tokyo tour. Now, again, the second release time frame isn't confirmed, and more than likely, if they do drop between this time, it will be on Travis Scott's website. I'm still tracking the sneakers app, and man, the stock is really moving around. I don't remember what I said in my last video, but for the US, it seemed like there was some sizes starting to pop up, but now it only has a size 14. Japan has 0 stock. At one point, they had a good amount. In other parts of the world, nothing. So why am I saying this pair is being backdoored? One, it's obvious. I mean, it happens with every release, but I heard something directly, and I'm not going to give names. I'm not going to say exactly how many pairs, but what I will say is somebody from Travis Scott's team is reaching out to people trying to backdoor a large amount. Now, I'm not saying 10 pairs. I'm not saying 20. I'm not even saying 100. Well above that. For the individual who's buying it, because that is the plan, they're going to make a lot of money off this release. I will say that the amount of pairs that are being backdoored will hurt the overall stock. I'll say this, it's more than 500 pairs. So I have heard in the past that Travis Scott got into some trouble with Jordan Brand because of this backdooring situation. Well, it hasn't stopped. I don't think Travis cares. The individual on his team is going to make a lot of money off this, and so is the individual who's buying it. And this is just the one person. Think about the deal that this individual is giving to others. Now, for legal purposes, although I didn't say any names or anything, I'm going to say this is allegedly, just to cover myself. But I always knew that backdooring was happening. I just was really shocked on the number of pairs being sold. But I do plan on doing another video, potentially a short video if it's not in time for a news video about another release date and giving more information. But yeah, these are getting close near to impossible to cop at retail. Speaking of the retail price, it'll be $155, but yeah, resale is going to cost a lot more. I said this before, but I'm going to say it again. The Air Jordan 11 Mojave is my favorite pair from the regional exclusive pack. I think it's super clean, and new images popped up giving us a better look. Now, these photos come from GOAT, and GOAT's photos are way better than Nike's photos that they put out during their press release. Their press release images had like a tint on them, like a filter of some sort, but that purple, man, I really like that purple. But yeah, I know Z Sneakerhead, he picked up a pair a couple days ago and he showed me them, and I was really amazed how they looked, especially without the filter. I definitely want a pair, but since they're a Las Vegas exclusive, I doubt I'm getting them. But the official colorway on these is Canyon Purple, Off Noir, Violet Dust, and Medium Soft Pink. The pair is constructed with nubuck, and on the upper it features mainly black detailing, but it does have reflective accents. I do like the pink hits on the outsole, as well as the metallic gold on the shank plate. But yeah, these are definitely nice. But as for a release date, they're scheduled to drop on November 22nd, and the retail price will be $250. Now, we still don't know which stores in Vegas will have them, but I will be putting a list together where you can buy all three once that information is announced. I thought in this video I was just going to showcase new images of the Solefly Air Jordan 3, and that was all I intended to do. However, not to be negative, but some people are really not smart. Now, I won't be saying any names in this video, but if you do some digging, I'm sure you'll be able to find out. Now, some photos did leak of the Solefly Air Jordan 3, and as you can see in these photos, there's a ton of boxes in the background. A ton. Obviously, these pairs were not obtained legitimately. Sure, the individual who actually owns them might have bought them legitimately, but who he bought them from? Definitely not obtained in a legit way. I'll talk more about that in a moment, but the individual got a bunch of Solefly Air Jordan 3s, posted it on his Instagram. The photos were obviously meant to get some new followers, get some sales. Nothing against that. But here's the thing. Solefly recently made a statement confirming that the shoes were stolen and another train was hijacked. So let me read this statement that they put out. Multiple pairs of the Solefly Jordan 3s and their boxes were stolen while in transit to Nike's Memphis distribution center. Solefly said, Nike Inc. is currently investigating the situation. Unfortunately, this incident may impact the timing of the planned release. We'll share updates as soon as more information becomes available. So, number one, you got Nike on your back now. Nike is looking into this train heist. And two, you posted on Instagram for the world to see. Now, looking at the Instagram page, which mind you, the photos have been removed, but I'm going to let you know it's already too late. Nike saw it. If they want to act on it, they're definitely going to. And I wouldn't be surprised if they haven't already. But basically, your Instagram page does give off a good amount of information about you, where you're from, and so forth. Not only that, you have a website. Doing some digging, I could find out the name of it's registered to. And I'm just a civilian. I'm nobody. Nike is a multi-billion-dollar company who has a team of lawyers who are going to dig into this. Now, like I mentioned early on, you might have got them legitimately. You might have bought them from somebody who you may have thought got them in a legit way. But the thing is that receiving stolen property, even if you're buying it, is still a crime. Now, I'm no lawyer, but I do watch a lot of court TV, so I like to deem myself as somebody who knows the law decently well. What Nike is going to do, they're going to get their lawyers, get the police. They're going to come at you, give you a deal, make you give up a name, probably offer you no charges or anything like that. And then cool, you give up the name and you're good to go. But depending on the name you give up, you might have to worry about those problems. So I understand getting early releases like this is a good way to make money, and it's quick money, but sometimes slower money is the safer way to go about things. And it does tell me something that all the photos have been removed from your IG, unless I'm missing something, but I've gone through them a handful of times. But honestly, I do wish the best of luck to you. No hard feelings on my part. Yes, if the individual does listen to this, I would definitely go about doing things a lot smarter. Because at the end of the day, although you do have a lot of Solefly 3s, it is a small amount compared to what I'm sure was stolen. Because I'm sure they just didn't take Solefly 3s off the train. But they're going to use you to get to the people who actually stole it. And then that's a whole different level of headaches that you don't want to get involved with. Anyways, the whole situation is unfortunate. But if the release stays the same, which it's possible it could get delayed, they're scheduled to drop on December 6th. And the retail price will be $230. I'm honestly happy that this pair leaked just because I've been seeing so many mock-ups going around and people saying it was accurate. I didn't know how it looked, so I never said accurate, but I knew it would look different from the mock-ups going around. But we finally have a first look at the A Ma Maniere Air Jordan 4 in Dark Mocha. A lot of people have been asking about it. When will we see a first look and so forth? And I'm a bit surprised that somebody working within A Ma Maniere got to leak it and not some random individual who gets stuff from the factory. But I will say overall, it's not bad. It's somewhat what I expected just because it has a lot of elements we've seen on previous A Ma Maniere releases. But the pair features a dark mocha, bronze eclipse, black and violet or colorway. I will say, in my opinion, They look better than the While You Were Sleeping pair that dropped in 2024. I'm sure some people might be upset about that, but hey, it's just my opinion. Now, the images aren't the best, but it definitely lets us know what's to come. As you can see, Mocha is used on the upper. It looks like it's nubuck. I can't 100% tell. And then on the inside of the tongue, we have a quilted pattern that also lands on the liner, but the inside of the tongue, it's in violet ore. The liner is in black. Now, on the left tongue, we have the A Ma Maniere A logo, and they also come with Nike Air on the heels. It kind of looks like we do have some age detailing on part of the midsole. I know a lot of you don't like that, but it will be used on this pair. And then we have black mesh netting throughout, and it looks like we have wax laces. I don't know, I'm actually kind of excited about the pair. A Ma Maniere releases, they really haven't done much for me in a while, but there's something about this pair that I do like. Now, as for the release info, they're currently expected to drop on December 12th, and the retail price will be $225. And that's going to do it for this video. Like always, greatly appreciate you guys for watching. If you have a second and haven't done so already, also appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. One more thing, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to turn on the notification bell so you can be alerted every time I drop a new video. Now, next week, I do plan on dropping 1 to 2 news videos, but starting this weekend, I am going to start working on the 2026 Air Jordan Releases Ultimate Guide. I plan on dropping it about the middle of the month, no later than the 20th. In that video, I'm going to be working behind the scenes while I still do other videos, but it's going to take a while. But for this video, let me know what you liked or disliked down below. As well, if you have any questions, make sure to leave those down below. Again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned to SneakerFiles.com. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe.